Hello everyone, welcome. It's the cert-manager bi-weekly meeting on the 20th of March 2025. This is always a fun time of year because North America's time zones have largely changed and the UK's haven't, so some people get the time wrong. If you're watching this for some reason on YouTube, the next meeting may be off as well if you decide to join that one. So you've been warned. It's looking like a quiet one today. There's not too much on the agenda and not too much to talk about. I do have a couple of quick bits, so I'll just launch straight into that and then we can have some general discussion afterwards if there's anything that comes up. So the first announcement is around an issue that I've put in chat and it's also in the meeting notes. Flynn from Buoyant has reached out and expressed confusion and surprise at the default of the private key rotation policy in cert-manager, which has been a source of confusion and surprise for many people and something that we've wanted to change for a while. A couple of weeks ago, I put out a call for consensus among maintainers about changing that default and how fast to change it. And nobody screamed about it, so we're going to change it. And we're going to change it as quickly as we can, and it will be a beta feature in the next release unless someone screams about it subsequently. I've started a bit of the implementation work for that. There's no huge rush because there's no release scheduled for a couple of months still, but this is the first meeting since the consensus vote passed. So this is like an announcement, I guess. Like we're going to change this default so that private keys will rotate when a certificate rotates by default, and you'll be able to opt in to having them not rotate, which is the less common use case in our estimation. That's kind of an announcement thing. It stands on its own. If anyone has any comments or concerns about that, stick them in the issue. It's a good thing to do. The other thing which I didn't put in the meeting notes, because I've only just written the issue, is this issue, which is around mirroring a version of bind, and we discussed this in the stand-up meeting this morning. For context, cert-manager spins up a DNS server, bind, as part of its end-to-end test, so it needs an image to do that. And this is for testing Acme stuff. So we depend on an upstream image based on Ubuntu, and it changes all the time. They don't treat their tag as immutable, so they change the tag, and that we pin to digests, and that means whenever they change the tag, it breaks all of our CI quite aggressively. This has happened multiple times in the past few weeks. I'm not calling them out, to be clear. Like they have every right to do that. They don't owe us a support contract. It just means that we spend a bunch of time updating everything, and it's pointless. So what I've done today is we already have a Google Artifact registry, sort of registry, I guess, where we store container images relating to our tests, specifically like our make Docker and Docker images, which we use to run our end-to-end tests, like the base environment for our tests. Those images all work great, and I've confirmed they're all publicly accessible to the internet. So I just manually copied the bind image and placed it in there. I've put the commands in the issue that I've linked. I've confirmed that the tests can be set up locally, and I've confirmed that they run and pass using this new image on master release 116 and 117. I guess this is worth announcing because we're moving away from an upstream image and to our own copy, which we would be on the hook to update. The thing is, we don't ever update this image. It's the same for the past two releases of cert-manager, so it isn't realistically going to change anytime soon. It's not a huge security risk by any means. The issue is there for us to track updates on this or proposed future improvements to this. Like this is papering over the cracks. It's not the long-term solution. And the issue is also to track changing the 3 different branches to point to the new one. I was going to change release 112, which is the long-term support version, but that actually uses a different image, which doesn't seem to be breaking itself. So I'm just going to leave that because release 112 is out of support in early May, so there's not much time left on it anyway. If it ain't broke, I'm not going to fix it. Does anyone have any questions or comments on bind?
I'm a
Cool.
stand up, so I've got nothing else.
Yeah, I'm repeating a lot of what I said to Adam and Peter earlier in the stand-up. So um, that is all I had. I'll add a note to the meeting notes about the bind stuff. Did anyone have anything else that they wanted to talk about, or is this going to be a very short bi-weekly?
Yeah, I was just gonna call out. I think you already said it, Ash, but in less than 2 weeks' time, it's KubeCon EU London. Um, I think most of the Serve Manage people are going to be there. Wanted to kind of just give a shout out that we have a Contrib Fest event going on, which we're doing some preparation for. So if you'd like to come and get started with Serve Manager, that would be a great time to do it. Appreciate your coming along. We're going to make it very easy, so anyone can come along. No sort of, apart from you need a machine. Hopefully, in the GitHub account, it shouldn't be too difficult to get started. So no previous experience required, I guess what I'm saying. I put a link in also to Eric and Tim's talk because I could see that one. And is there more talks? Because I couldn't find them in my very quick search in the whilst you were talking, Ash. It's just the one talk.
I'm not aware of any more.
Cool. Then they're all in the meeting notes for people if they need a link to them.
Smashing. Yeah, shout out to Peter. Like he's been the driving force behind this, and like I've not had the bandwidth at all. Like for you know, this will hopefully be a really great way to onboard some new people to contribute into open source or to cert-manager, and it's much needed. So thank you for that. Uh, Further to that, I suppose on the KubeCon theme, we will be having the cert-manager booth as usual. The Raspberry Pi is over there somewhere behind me in my camper van, and I will be setting it up shortly to issue London-specific certificates at KubeCon. So if you're interested in getting what is widely regarded as good swag, it will be available as usual. Um, I can't think of anything else to shout out about KubeCon. To be fair, we um,
Don't know my availability for the booth, but I will try and turn up for an hour. So
awesome. I should be there most of the time. I would imagine that's usually where I end up in KubeCon, unless I'm needed somewhere else. Um,
yeah, I'm giving a hit list of things to go and look for at KubeCon. So
Fair play. The only other thing is I'm hoping at some point to take some colleagues out to get pie mash and liquor while we're in London because I've got some Spanish colleagues that have never had proper London food and they need to be indoctrinated. Well, that's not really related to Cert Manager. Um, Welcome, goodness. Did you have anything you wanted to discuss today? We're just coming towards the end, really. I will take silence as a no. Okay. Did anyone else have anything that's popped to mind? Okay, then it's a short bi-weekly meeting. It is. Thank you to those that joined. Thank you for watching. If you are watching, I'm not even sure if these are ending up online or not, but hopefully they are. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.